Welcome to our retirement, folks.
I haven't got up. It's
Five. No, 3 minutes past five. And she arrived.
That's what time my sister got up this. Well, no, she must have got up before that.
She arrived at work.
At 3 minutes past five
this morning.
Yeah. I get up at that time, go to the toilet, come back and think, oh, I've got so many hours still to sleep. She's always been like that though. She's always got up early, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Even when boys were little. She'd get up and do her housework before she went off to work and took boys to school.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah. Very.
Not as strange as film I watched last night.
Oh, no, we're telling me about it. Wow.
We won't go.
No, we won't go into it.
I mean, it wasn't naughty or anything.
No.
It was just very strange, yeah.
Strange,
but
yeah.
interesting.
Basically, it were about a man who looked normal. I think he was schizophrenic.
It was.
Or something
It was
like
definitely.
That.
And it was an eye-opener, really, into schizophrenia. Because he would dress as a woman.
At home.
At home. And then he worked in a bank as a man during the day. And the man never knew what the woman was doing. The woman never knew what the man was doing.
When they changed.
They kind of opposed to one another.
Yeah.
And and the female looked like a female and talked like a female and was totally different personality to the male.
Yeah.
But it's all the same person.
Yeah.
It was quite fascinating. It was amazing, really.
I said he does find some strange films to watch.
It was a really strange film. But it was compelling. I had to watch it. It wasn't rude it wasn't naughty. This poor guy had a traumatic childhood. He'd not been brought up right. And he'd been brought up by his mother who had died a year previously. And this had been the effect of his childhood.
Yeah.
But it was really fascinating. Mm-hmm. And it really gave you an insight into schizophrenia.
Yeah, he obviously preferred being the woman. He was much more outgoing and everybody spoke to him that he met.
People liked him as a woman.
But they didn't
and
like him.
And he liked people. But when he was a bloke, he didn't like people and people didn't like him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that was Trevor's evening.
Yeah.
You can see why we don't watch TV together.
No.
Very rare, unless it's a housey programme or a car programme or football.
When we were in the van, I used to join you at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and then which were quite strange really, because the programmes I liked all came on at 9 o'clock. You know, because of the child.
That's why she's so happy now, not in the van.
Because of the sort of restrictions they put on children watching certain things. All the sort of police programmes and things like that mainly came on at...
Bloodthirsty.
Yeah, at 9 o'clock. So then I had to scrabble around looking for some like Grand Designs or something.
She likes watching these programmes where a guy's getting revenge for something on his enemies.
Revenge.
And all the guts and brains are flying everywhere. And she's lapping it up.
Yeah. Films with Van Diesel in and Stallone and all them sort of things.
Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Neeson, he's going around getting revenge for something that's happened to him.
Yeah.
Or his family.
Someone's kidnapped his daughter or kidnapped his wife. Yeah. So there you are, that's our
I like things about life.
Yeah.
You know, people's lives.
Documentaries and things about the
Films
lives,
about
don't you?
life. Yeah.
Music. I can watch so much and then I've had enough. I want to watch something.
Gory.
Yeah. With a bit of punch.
So what did we do yesterday, Pat? What happened yesterday?
What, did you saying something happened yesterday? What happened yesterday?
Oh, well, of course, yesterday was the day, our happy day.
Our happy day. Oh, yes.
I said...
Yes, I was on the phone for an hour with the dietitian, who was very good. I mean, considering we were talking over the phone, she just put our minds at rest completely, didn't she?
Yeah.
She said, go back to eating how you were eating before. You need to eat like that, so you're getting your nutrients and some carbohydrates. She didn't say don't eat bread. She said make yourself a sandwich if you want one. Just don't go overboard with it all.
Yeah.
So we had shepherd's pie last night.
We did, it was
It was
nice.
very nice.
What? No, wait a minute, it wasn't shepherd's pie.
Oh no, it was
Cottage pie.
Cottage pie, because I did it with beef instead of lamb.
Yeah, you see, these people out there know.
They're knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I just make it how I make it. I call it shepherd's pie. But
It was very nice. There was some left for today, isn't there?
Oh, well, there's meat. I need to do some more potatoes.
All right.
There is a small portion with potato on, but then I put some meat in another dish ready for whatever I wanted to do with it.
Right.
So
okay.
we could have it some other way if you don't want.
Oh, so you didn't use all that meat?
No. There's two dishes in there. One with a little bit of pie in, and the other with just meat and veg.
You used to make Cornish pasties, didn't you?
Yeah, at the same time as I made.
But I can't eat them
He
now.
can't eat them.
I mean, you could still make them for
I could
yourself.
still make them for Alethea likes Cornish pasties.
Yeah.
Could put some in the freezer.
Yeah.
So we could have something different. We don't
I
have
remember
to
you
have
used to make little tiny ones, didn't you?
Bite-sized.
Bite-sized Cornish pasties.
Just with a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Teaspoon of meat. Yeah. And I'd make vegetarian ones for Alethea, for Tracy. Just with veg in. She had the pie last night, didn't she?
And I've had an email from the the gallery.
Oh, have you? Oh.
And wanting to know details. So I've sent that back.
Right.
And my studio is number 12.7, which is a extraordinary number. I don't know how they've come up with that number.
Maybe that gallery is 12.
And my
yours
studio
is
7.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah,
Because
right.
that, you know, that room.
Yeah.
And it might have.
Because, funnily enough, on Sunday, we've arranged with Mick and Jane to go up to the gallery because it's an open day for the studios that are already there.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to take a look at how they've set their little studios up.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
On Sunday. They have about, I don't know, maybe 6 openings, public openings a year
Yeah.
to the studios. So,
I think I might have
Could
to
be.
take this
Could be
watch back in. It's a bit
too
tight.
tight on you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit too tight. It maybe took one too many out.
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's irritating.
Yeah. I thought it
It's
would.
not going to be very nice taking it back in, is it? Can you put the link back in?
Oh no. I thought you'd taken too many out.
Did you? Well, I did. When I tried it on, but I
small.
thought I'll test it out and see. I'll just say to him, it's nipping a bit. Can you put one back?
Yeah. And I rang our kid yesterday to try and arrange, because we're going to take our kid and his wife out for a night out.
In a hotel.
In a hotel. We're hoping to get in at the hotel in Cleethorpes, where we once went before. And he was just coming out at
Wetherspoons
in Bradford when I rang him, and he says, "I'll ring you back tonight, our kid." So he rang me back last night, and our kid, he 20 years ago, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
He invented something called he calls it the aquastan.
No.
Our kid's called Stanley.
Yeah.
And he calls this thing the aquastan. He invented it, and it's a device that you connect up to your central heating boiler, and it extracts the air out of the water in your central heating system. You know, when your water leaves the boiler, it goes all through the pipes, all through every radiator in the house, and it comes back to the boiler. And because it's gone on that journey, it leaves the boiler at a certain temperature. And by the time it comes back to the boiler, it's dropped in temperature. So the boiler has to heat the water back up to that temperature and send it off again. And that's how your central heating system works. Well, this device of our kids, because it's got no air in the water, it doesn't lose temperature. So when it comes back round to the boiler, it hasn't lost as much temperature as it would have. So the boiler don't have to come on as long to reheat it up. So it saves gas. And not only that, because it's got no air in the water, inside of your radiators don't rust.
It makes the water clear.
The water's crystal clear. He's had some of these aquastans in public buildings in Bradford, organised through the council, and they had a meeting to discuss the results of because they've been in there over a year, and they went to discuss the results, and they're just all astonished by how he said, our kid said that, what did it?
One place they were going nearly every month to sort something out.
Some maintenance problems out with boilers. And he says they haven't had to go back at all since then the thing was installed. So he's been at it 20 years with this device.
With different people sort of supporting him and
it's never really...
Yeah, never really...
He mortgaged his house.
Took advantage of him, didn't they?
Yeah.
At the beginning as well.
It's been a nightmare. But he won't give up. No. I mean, he's 79, he's 80 this year. He's our kid, and he won't give up. And it looks like it might be something positive might happen. Yeah. And it's funny, but somebody commented in one of her comments today, said that she was 70 odd and she was learning to play the ukulele. At 70.
Never give up.
Well, I was saying to her that our kid, he must have been about 74 when he started to learn the clarinet. And he plays in an orchestra now, does our kid? Yeah.
He's always been interested in music though, hasn't he?
Classical music.
Classical. Yeah, I used to go to organ recitals when they were younger and...
I was listening to headbanging stuff, and our kid were listening to organ recitals.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were totally opposite.
Yeah. And Stanley used to get involved with group things when his boys were young. They'd go on swimming things.
Yeah.
He used to go as a chaperone and different things, and they'd go camping and all sorts. Sort of involved with Duke of Edinburgh Award or something.
Oh, well, yeah.
Similar things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Trevor couldn't get far enough away from it all.
No, thank you.
Just completely opposite.
We always have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when you were younger.
Oh, we used to fight cat and dog.
Yeah. Charlie boy here used to pinch Stanley's little trucks, dinky toys, and sell them for goes on people's bikes.
I didn't sell them, I swapped.
You swapped them for rides.
We thought we were going to get a bike for Christmas. And in anticipation of this, I had a friend who had a bike, so I used to nick our kids' dinky toys and give him one in exchange for a go on his bike. So when we did get our bikes, I just rode off on mine and our kid kept falling off his. We were going round the streets at 5 o'clock in the morning on them, weren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, so you said.
My dad, when we were kids, he threatened us all the time. He kept saying, now, if you don't behave, all you'll get for Christmas is a dinky toy with no tyres on. And every time we did something wrong, he used to threaten us with this.
Yeah.
And then on that Christmas morning, me and our kid crept downstairs and we went into the back room, and there were these two boxes, little boxes on the table with dinky toys in with no tyres on. And me and our kid just burst out crying, didn't we? And he came down and we didn't bring my daddy on. And he took us into the front room, and there were these two brand new bikes.
I mean, which would have been a lot of money in them days, wouldn't it?
To buy two brand new bikes.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it. Yeah.
No.
You never thought of that though when you were...
No, when you were younger.
I mean, blooming heck, we were going to Lavid out street.
Yeah.
You know.
Lovely.
Yeah, they went and bought us them new bikes.
Yeah.
They did. The property we were in at the time were rented, but they did eventually put an inside toilet. I think we were one of the few houses on the street that did have an inside toilet. And I think we were one of the first to get a telly on the street, and I think we were one of the first to get a car. So my dad were really ambitious.
Yeah, well, he had a fairly good job, didn't he?
Hard work. I mean, he worked.
Oh, yeah.
He were a van. You know, worked at the laundry in Hygienic Laundry in Leeds, and he started out as a van lad, and he eventually there were 40 rounds on that in that laundry, and my dad learned them all. So if anybody knocked one day, he could just step in and do that round because he knew them all.
Yeah.
And eventually became manager of that laundry.
Yeah.
So he had a heart attack.
Yeah, he'd been there years, hadn't he?
Oh, 30 odd year.
And
yeah.
Once he had his heart attack,
I couldn't get rid of him quick enough.
No. It's amazing, really, isn't it?
No loyalty.
Yeah.
But it wasn't this same owner.
No, it swapped owners. I mean, they used to put on Christmas parties, didn't they, upstairs in canteen. They had a canteen, and it was subsidised.
Subsidised Works canteen, and you could get a gorgeous meal at every lunchtime.
Yeah.
You know, for pennies. They were brilliant. It was very paternal organisation. Yeah. Everybody had worked there years. I grew up knowing them all.
Yeah,
mechanics. Mechanics.
Vans.
Yeah. I knew the mechanics. I knew the women who worked inside, and I knew van drivers.
Did they call them calendars?
Yeah,
them big
they can put
machines.
sheets through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they used to do butlins.
But Butlins, yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
you
In
know,
Filey.
bedding and that. And,
They did. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But all sheets, if they were fully finished, they used to go through a calendar.
Yeah.
Even domestic stuff. It were only if it were bag washed that it never went through a calendar.
Yeah.
It never got ironed, it just got washed and dried.
No.
Or just washed. If you didn't have it fluff dry. You had to, it were 2 and 6 for damp wash and 3 and 6 for fluff dry. So you either got it back damp and you had to dry it yourself and iron it, or you got it back dry. So you just ironed it yourself.
Yeah.
Or if you were rich, you could have it fully finished in a lovely plastic bag, and it were all, you know, like the shirts were like, like brand new shirts, all packed in
folded up with
cellophane
cardboard
bags.
in
Yeah, they were like that when they went back, weren't they?
Yeah. I used to love that machine.
Well, I bet most of them fully finished went to Adel.
Oh yes. Yeah.
It was a wealthy place, Adel.
Yeah. Adel.
In them days. Yeah.
They also had a shoe shop, didn't they?
Yeah. I worked at shoe shop, polishing, most boring job in the world, that. Buffing shoes after the cobbler had repaired them. Used to send me to sleep, it did, working in that laundry. They'd have music while you work on and it were warm. I used to have these shoes up, buffing machine, I'd be nodding off.
Don't wear the leather away, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, well.
It's funny, but you grew up knowing that, at Christmas, they'd have a Christmas party and van drivers became uncles at the Christmas party. And each uncle had so many kids to look after.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a Santa Claus would come with presents for you. And then we'd go to a pantomime in January. They'd organise a coach, take us into Leeds to a pantomime. Well, we're all done by laundry. That's what kind of an organisation it was. I'm talking about the 50s.
Yeah.
The late 50s, maybe early 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going to a couple of them kind of parties at where my dad worked, but not.
Dad worked at Taylor Rustler's Fittings.
Yeah.
In Leeds.
Yeah.
He was foreman there.
Yeah.
Our kid knew him. Our kid had worked there.
Yeah.
For a bit before he went to Forge. He went to Kirkstall Forge.
He liked him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He liked
you
your
liked
dad.
my dad.
I liked
Only
my dad.
Mum didn't like him.
I know. He was all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose we won't like you and your family where you all stayed together. My dad had to disappear at certain times.
Oh, your
My
family.
mum didn't want him.
We were totally dysfunctional.
We were. So that's why I only went a couple of times to him. But I can remember him at Christmas times. He always bought me something really special.
Posh.
Like a lovely doll, or he bought me one of them, the prams that you wheel proper babies about in. They were coach built.
Silver Cross.
Yeah, Silver Cross. He bought me one of them in green.
Oh, wow.
For a small doll.
Wow.
It was beautiful, it was.
Coach built prams.
Yeah, a child's one.
In fact, Silver Cross were in Menston.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, and they were still there until maybe only, well, I don't know really, because time is an illusion when you get older. How long, might not have been there for the last 10 years, or it might be 5 years, but I remember driving past there, and there were Silver Cross prams there.
Yeah.
They were real special prams, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
But then, that most people had, I suppose you bought a second-hand one. But most people had prams like that in old days, didn't
they did. Yeah. And you could...
Springs.
Yeah, you could sit a toddler on front, couldn't you? On where handle were near back at pram, bottom at pram. Yeah. They're quite good.
And people used to put... You know, when I was tuning, piano tuning, and I can remember people leaving the kids outside in the pram.
Oh, aye.
Babies. And I can remember going to one house and it was freezing and there was snow on ground and kid were outside it, pram asleep. Yeah, it toughened you up in them days, you know.
Get some fresh air even though it's freezing.
Toughen you up.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you're not wrapped in cotton wool like they are now.
No.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that?
I better, yeah, because time's getting on, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've had an email from Lulu and they're doing a 15% sale on. So I'll show you, this is my book, my autobiography.
And that's Stanley and Trevor.
That's me and our kid there in his cowboy outfits on Middle Cross Street in Armley in Leeds, back-to-back houses. And this is my book of drawings. There we are on the back. I'll open it up.
Oh.
There's a couple of my drawings in there. I'll put the link in the description. Anybody's interested. And I think that's about it for today, folks.
Yeah.
So all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. Although it's Saturday, we never know.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, look, show on that.
Oh.
Tracy bought Pat these. They're in a
little black
container. There's 7 of them.
Yeah, they've got
There's 7 of them. AM
on there.
PM.
Yeah.
The day.
And then it's got the day on Friday.
AM and PM.
And Friday there. It's because when we were doing the tablets, she says, do you know you've got your morning tablets in evening? I said, yeah, I know. I keep meaning to change it round, but I am. She says, well, if anybody else had to come and give you your tablets, they'd be giving you morning ones at evening and evening ones at morning.
So that has the sunshine for the morning and the moon for the night.
Making sure I get my right tablets at the right time. So I've got them to take anyway.
How many have you got? She says to me, I'm supposed to take 11, but there's only 10.
There is only 10 there.
And she's no idea which one's missing.
I think it might be clicked aside for 40. Because I only had 80s. And I wasn't supposed to be taking 2 80s at that time.
If you should have told me you were running out. Because I could have gone on 111 and got an emergency supply.
Oh, right. So I think
anyway,
I need to go upstairs and get the box. And
they are on order, supposed to be coming.
Right.
You see, they're wanting to know what effect these tablets are having on your sugar.
Yeah, but if I'm not taking the right amount.
No. It's got a false reading, isn't it?
I tried to explain that to a woman
in pharmacy.
In chemist, yeah. But it won't come
Somebody
over.
said Boots do it and they'll deliver. But
oh, I don't want to.
This is what I say. I'm afraid that if I go and change it, it'll just get even more complicated.
Yeah. So I just need to check what they are, I think, before I take them, and then if I need to add another glyptoside, I I can do.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, I know I used to take 11 in the morning, and I'm only taking 10 now.
Yeah, but
so
you
there's
know
one
that
missing.
they took you off a tablet, don't you?
Yeah, but that I haven't got any of them in container, I don't think.
Yeah, but are you still taking, do you still know that it's 11 without that?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So this is it, you see. It's
Well, I
so
got
hard to
confused.
keep tabs on what you...
Yeah.
She had to stop taking such and such a tablet for when she had that procedure, and then start taking them again, and then they'd say they'd increase one and decrease another.
Yeah, no.
You just get lost in the
lost.
end. I'm lost.
Even our Tracy don't know what's going on.
No.
She usually figures something out.
Yeah, we none of us know.
So-
We're all confused now. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, all being well, folks.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.